Hello and welcome. My name is Jody Scholes. I'm your instructor for the MBLEx review course. Look at all these lovely people who are here with us. Let me make sure you can see them. Yes. Awesome. We are delighted to come together once a week in a live class to study for the MBLEx. And today we're talking about pathologies of the cardiovascular system. Yes. So cardiovascular system, our circulatory system, there's all sorts of things that can go kind of sideways. So today we're going to talk about what those cardiovascular diseases are and how they can impact your massage. But first, and I'd like to remind you that your feet are your connection to the planet. Your feet are your connection to the ground. You can come back to your feet and to your breath to bring yourself into this present moment. Yeah. Bringing yourself back into this present moment where the only thing you need to think about, the only thing that you're here to do is to study, to practice. Very much like when you go into your treatment room. Pausing before you open that door and breathe. Just one breath, two breaths, feel your feet. Once you enter that treatment room, the only thing you get to think about, the only thing you have to think about is your treatment of that client. Yeah. It's a beautiful way to come back to the present moment because all is well here, right now. Our fear, our worry, our anxiety lives in the future about some unknown outcome. All is well right here. You are controlling what you can control. You've shown up. You've shown up to listen, to learn. That can be celebrated. All right. So one more gentle breath in, wiggle the toes. And a soft breath out. Know that your feet and your breath are a tool in your toolkit when you are taking the MBLEx and preparing for the MBLEx. Now let's do some learning about the pathologies of the cardiovascular system. Deep vein thrombosis, yet another pathology of the cardiovascular system. All right. So DVT, another acronym, DVT, deep vein thrombosis. It's a clot in a vein, usually in the lower leg. All right. So here's our lower leg. And our lower leg has valves. This is a healthy vein. And you can see the valves open. So as we move, so the cardiovascular system has one pump. It's the heart, right? So the heart pumps blood, and the heart pumps blood out to the body. Now, in our lower extremities, in our legs, there's no pump down there. We don't have a heart in our ankles, right? No. The way that the blood moves back up our leg is through muscular contraction. So when we walk, when we stand, when we move, our muscles actually pump that blood back up the leg. Pretty cool, huh? If you do yoga, or if you want to try this, in yoga they do this on the regular, and it's called legs up the wall. And so it's basically like if you wanted to sit down on the floor with your hip against the wall and then turn towards the wall and put your feet up. Put your feet up the wall. Careful you don't scuff the wall. Why would we want to do that? Now we're talking about deep vein thrombosis. We're talking about circulation in the lower leg. That position, legs up the wall, helps your circulatory system move the blood from your legs back up towards your heart. So gravity can also help pump that blood, will move that blood up the leg. All right. Deep vein thrombosis basically is a malfunction of a valve. Well, actually, varicose veins is the malfunction of a valve, and that's what you're seeing right here, the varicose vein. Now, within that, so in a healthy vein, blood streams up the leg. When these valves are malfunctioning, we can get some pooling of the blood. This is why varicose veins are also a local contraindication for massage. Varicose veins are a local contraindication for massage. A thrombosis, a deep vein thrombosis, has turned into a clot. So this pooling blood has turned into a clot. Now, in this case, in this image, that clot is stable. It's not moving anywhere. And sometimes people who have clots, they just keep an eye on them, or they give them blood thinners, and they keep an eye on it. But now and then, that clot takes off. And that clot is on the move. That's not what we want. We want it, if there is a clot, we want it to stay put. So the deep vein thrombosis is the clot. So it's this stage. You may have heard the term throw a clot. Yes, well, that's when the clot gets on the move. And unfortunately, a blood clot is a bunch of blood cells. You can see here in the pooling area, a bunch of blood cells that get stuck together. And it doesn't move very easily through the vein structure. So it can get stuck in the lower leg. So hopefully it stays put, but if not, it might end up being an embolism. Let's take a look at that. So deep vein thrombosis, of course, it's a contraindication for massage. Any place that there's clotting is a local contraindication for massage. But because it could dislodge the clot, right? Right. So if it gets dislodged, it's called an embolism. So an embolism is a block in an artery. So it's stuck. Now, an embolism blocks the artery, and typically the reason they know about it is because the artery bursts. Okay? So that usually causes a big problem, depending on where it is, right? But a blocked artery, I don't care if it's in the legs, in the brain, in the lungs, you will, there will be pressure, a lot of pressure, because that blood's trying to get through, and eventually a bulge or a break. Okay. In this case, it's at a pulmonary embolism, a DVT, because usually by the time that clot actually is getting back towards the heart or back towards the lungs, pulmonary refers to the lungs. And so we can identify more specifically where clients are having an issue by the description of the embolism, the description of the blood clot. So an embolism is a block in an artery caused by a clot. Can be caused by other stuff too, but we're talking about the cardiovascular system. So, okay, so you may have heard of aneurysm. We just talked about embolism. Break it down. All right, let's do this thing. Deep vein thrombosis normally occurs where in the body? A, the jugular vein. B, the lower leg. C, the upper leg. D, artery of the heart. Deep vein thrombosis normally occurs where in the body? The jugular vein, A. B, the lower leg. C, the upper leg. D, an artery of the heart. We're going to get rid of one wrong answer. We know this answer is wrong because it's a deep vein thrombosis. So it's going to occur in a vein. So artery of the heart is not the best answer. All right. Deep vein thrombosis normally occurs where in the body? 3, 2, 1, go. Ooh, lots of answers. All right, let's see. Very good, Rachel. Oh, actually, yep, yeah, that's Rachel. Good. Milana, yes. Yay, Shauna, good. Kara, good. Dan Thompson, yes. Nice. Carrie, good. Lance, nailed it. Brienne, yay. Marissa, yes. Yes, good. Julia, yes. Jessica, you got it. Good. Migdalia, yes, good. Ms. V, you got it. Leck, yep. Lily, good. Good. Dorea, yes, good. Paris, uh-huh. Good. Patricia, yes. Oh, we didn't. Oh, good, good, good. Good, good, good. All right, you guys got it. Did you know that before we had our lesson today? Best answer? Boom. Lower leg. Yay. All right. So deep vein thrombosis usually occurs in a vein where blood has pooled. It's become a clot. And this happens, and you may when you encounter it, this happens sometimes after long airplane rides or long car rides. It's why it's important to every hour and a half, stop driving and just get out of the car and move a little. Yeah. In the airplane, stand up, move a little. Yeah. Now, if you're in a situation where you can't can't stand up, maybe the seatbelt sign is stayed on, you can flex and extend your ankles. Flexing and extending your ankles also helps to pump that blood back up your calf. All right. Next work. Woo-hoo! Yeah, we had time today for about 10 more questions, didn't we? So, we have a special guest with us today. And yes, we do. We do. And I am going to give the floor to Amanda. Amanda, do you have some news for us?
Yes,
Would you like to turn your camera on
of course.
so we can see your smiling face? Yes.
Okay. So I passed.
Yay! Jazz hands. Woohoo!
Yay!
Amanda passed the MBLEx. Woohoo! All right, was it hard?
It was tricky.
Mhm.
It was so tricky. I started crying by question number 12. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. And then I was like, at number 15, I was like, okay, I failed, but at least let me finish the time. I was scared. And then I start seeing
Oh my God, right?
so much of the questions, well, very close, not saying exactly, but exactly or very close to how your exams are. It
Mhm.
is very, very close. And some of the way they word the questions and everything. So I was like, okay, so this makes sense. And then they had like three options. Is that it's right, it's wrong, or it's kind of like, remember when we did some of them, you get A, B, C, or D. Most of the clinical questions, you get ABC.
Ooh.
Yeah.
How many
So
ABC questions do you think you had? Did you have more than 10?
probably about 10,
Okay.
10 or 15. It wasn't a lot at all. It
Hmm.
wasn't a lot.
Yeah.
But a lot of the clinical assessments, the um benefits and effects, the way how you help us to break down the questions, because I had to read some of those questions like 3 times. And then it's like, oh my gosh, the lady in the exam testing center, she said I confused her the whole time. She's like, because she told me if my pad ran out of ink for me to draw on or write on the board that she gave me, put my hands up and she'll come and replace. Just going like, I was like, I was reading the questions, but it helped with me doing this movement and palpating. So when I actually finished the exam, I put my hand up. She never came. I had my hand up again. She never came. I look around and I was waving. And she said, no, I wasn't coming because you've been waving the whole time. It was so, and I was crying. She was like, why are you crying? The screen says you passed. I was like, I passed. It was, yeah.
Ah.
But the questions was so much of what you taught. So I went on a referral extreme. Is like everybody like, listen, the classes are very similar. You don't have to be alone in this. Da, 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 da. Try Jody Schultz. Go on YouTube. Do this.
Oh, thank you. And so, congratulations.
Thank you.
How
It's all
exciting.
thank you so much. Without you and Tara responding to my crazy messages, crying all hours of the night. I can't do this. I give up. Why did I go lower again? You guys have been really, really, really there for me. You were responsive. It wasn't like I sent a text and it's like 3 days pass and I don't get a response. You all were always there, encouraging me not to give up. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yeah. And now this is the joy, right? This is the
Yes.
reward. This is it. Yeah. Congratulations. Yes. And Tara and I are there for you guys. Are there. And let me assure you, Amanda, you're not alone with your like, oh, yay. So I invited Amanda to come today to hear class and also share her story. Yeah. All right. I'm going to wrap up this part of class by reminding you that my name is Jody Scholes. I'm your instructor for the MBLEx review course. And it is my privilege to prepare these classes and to deliver these classes for you as you prepare to pass the MBLEx. I'm going to stay on with this great group, answer some questions, but for the recording, we'll be signing off and we'll see you again real soon.